Okay, guys, welcome once again to another episode of Scott Talks Law. So, this is an episode whereby Scott Talks Law. And in this episode, we are going to talk about administrative law. So, this is the law that deals with the powers of administrative bodies and agencies. And this is the law that ensures that the powers are regulated by limiting administrative powers, by ensuring that these powers are exercised in a right way, by ensuring that administrative bodies, while exercising their powers, they exercise their powers in accordance with the law that are provided. So the principles of administrative law, these are principles that govern administrative bodies and agencies. These are principles that are set to ensure that administrative bodies don't abuse their powers, don't exercise excess powers, and exercise their powers according to the manner in which is required. So the first principle is the principle of legality. This principle of legality demands that administrative bodies or law agencies must make their decisions in accordance with the law. Their decisions must conform with every provision or the law that is provided. This prevents administrative bodies from conducting themselves in an illegal manner or doing whatever that is not permitted by law. The second principle is the principle of reasonableness. This principle demands that administrative bodies must make decisions that are reasonable and rational. The decisions made by administrative bodies must be relevant decisions. The third principle is the principle of proportionality, and it states that the means used by administrative bodies in achieving particular objective must be proportional and must be appropriate to achieve that particular objective. And proportionality, this principle limits the administrative bodies from going beyond what is necessary to achieve a particular objective. For example, if administrative bodies intend to use some resources in achieving a particular plan or finances, they must use the resources that are reasonable, and these resources must not go beyond what is necessary. They must not use excess resources in implementing objectives that don't really require the excess resources. They must not use excess finance, excess whatever that they have. They must use that which is proportional to what they intend to achieve. So this limits them from using excess resources or excess what they have in excess, or they just are required to use according to the intention which they want to achieve. They use whatever they have in accordance to the solutions that they want to bring. They must use that which is proportional. Whatever they want to achieve must be proportional to their to what they have. So the fourth principle is the principle right to participate or duty to consult. So this principle ensures that democracy is followed. The democracy, the rule of people by the people. So people must be consulted, people must be involved in decisions that administrative bodies tend to make or to come up with, to ensure that they conform to the principles of administrative law. So these principles ensure that people are involved by administrative agencies, or administrative decisions are decisions that are people involved. So people are supposed to be involved to ensure that these decisions are fair and just. So the fifth principle is the principles of justification. And these principles demand that administrative bodies must give reasons to the decisions that they make. They must have reasons that are satisfactory, that will satisfy people and will make people to be satisfied and to ensure that justice is there. So they must have reasons. Administrative bodies cannot just make decisions and they cannot account for those decisions. When they give reasons as to why they came up with particular issues, then that will ensure that there is just justification and there is a just society and just government. So the government or the administrative bodies are supposed to give satisfactory reasons. So the sixth principle is the principle of legitimate expectation. So when government bodies or administrative bodies intend to come up with or when they make policies and their plans, they tend to give promises to people and on how they intend to implement their issues. So when they give promises or when they inform people on their policies, they tend to create that expectation to people. They create that expectation. So people have that expectation that government, they have that expectation or expect some things from these administrative bodies. So administrative bodies are supposed to conduct themselves in a manner that fulfills the expectations of the people. The promises they make, they must fulfill according to how they made their promises. So this is the expectation that citizens have or people have towards these administrative bodies. So while these bodies make their policies, guidelines, and proceedings, this expectation that they create in people, they must fulfill those expectations. And the seventh principle is the principle of independence. And this is the principle that ensures that administrative bodies are free in carrying out their decisions and their issues. They are not supposed to be interfered with, and ensure that are able to carry out their mandate in a manner that is honorable. The eighth principle is the principle of accountability, and this principle is there to ensure that administrative bodies are accountable of what they make, and they can give reasons, and they can account to what they make or the decisions which they put in place. Is there to ensure that there is accountability and fairness and reasonableness. So this is the principle that ensures that there is accountability in decisions made by administrative bodies. So that is the end of my lecture on principles or basic principles of administrative law.